everybody, welcome back to Jerfish Entertainment, musical instrument time, and it's a Hurdy Gurdy. Yes, Hurdy Gurdy again. I actually had a box Hurdy Gurdy one time back a few years ago, which did not work out well for me at all, and it was impossible to keep in tune. This one, I took another chance here. This is by Silvio Orlandi out of Italy, and it was an eBay purchase. You always worry about eBay purchases. It arrived very quickly. And actually ordered an even better hurdy-gurdy, but it won't be here for 12 to 15 months from a maker in Germany. And so I decided to get with something that is a little bit more affordable temporarily that I could then sell later on or see what I do with it. That way I have something to play around with so I'm ready for when the big box comes. I will do a little explanation on what a hurdy-gurdy is here and show you it around. So a hurdy-gurdy is a musical instrument that dates back to the Middle Ages. And what it uses is a wheel that turns, and that provides the rubbing of the strings in order to create sound. So if you were to have a violin, you would rub it with a bow. This instead uses a wooden wheel with rosin on it, and it has cotton on the strings in order to, so that you can get the vibration to create the sound without wearing through the strings themselves and making them just be destroyed. Especially considering this is wood on string and these are gut strings, they would be very prone to being destroyed. There are also drones that constantly sound on the sides. These ones are metal drones from cello strings to give you a nice low sound. And then over here, there's additional drones, and this one has a special floating bridge, the trumpet, and this is called the chien or the dog, and it makes a buzzing or vibrating sound because it's floating whenever you aggressively turn the crank in order to get some additional percussion accompaniment. Opening this up on the inside, these are the tangents that are moving when you push on these keys that are going to shorten the lengths of the string in order to create the different changes in pitch and sound that you want. These are both tuned to the same. You could do an octave different for different sounds, but these are tuned both to G. This is a GC setup overall. So these are in G, and then these drones are in different formats of G or C. Yeah, it's an interesting device. It's an interesting setup, and we'll do some examples of it. The music and sound of this, it's kind of bagpipe-ish in some ways because you have constant droning in the background in addition to being able to play a melody, although this is it's not just a diatonic, this is a chromatic scale, so you have a little bit more flexibility than a bagpipe in some ways. Old medieval times, the original hurdy-gurdies, or Vielle Roue as it is in French, or wheel fiddle, they were operated by two people. You had one person operating the crank, they were a lot bigger, and another person then would use the keys in order to have the tangents that are pushing on the melody strings, the chanterelles, in order to have them do the different sounds. But then they got smaller, and yeah, they've been around for a long time. So here's an explanation of what I was saying about having different drones on or off. So here are just the melody strings, the chanterelles. And then you can add in this drone. And then this one. This would be all four drones. And then if you wanted to get some of that buzz, you would have to kind of turn the crank a little harder. You have to play this instrument at an angle because these do not have spring returns. So gravity is what is letting these keys that are being pressed go back down into place whenever you play it. And it has just a cover that can go over the wheel to prevent debris and dirt from getting in there. Again, this is an old type instrument, and this is a very kind of traditional construction with wooden pegs and things like that. And you put a strap on this on both sides in order to keep it anchored to your body when you play it, so it's not moving all over the place, especially with you turning the crank on this side. Definitely a fascinating instrument, and you will hear this in a lot of different musical genres and a lot of folk music from Germany to England to Scandinavian countries, Eastern Europe, France. It really is all over the place, or at least it has been in the past. It was very popular a long time ago, kind of started to die off, but stayed in France in the 17 and 1800s pretty good, and has had a revitalization as the folk scene has increased. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. I'm going to try to work with this a little bit more. We'll tell you if you ever get one of these, the big secret is keep it in tune, just like bagpipes, because otherwise it can sound pretty awful. And learning to master the cotton technique and how much rosin to use. So it can be a little bit of a finicky thing. It's kind of fun. Until next time, I hope you enjoyed this.